Hey, yeah, it's James. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever noticed that sometimes feelings are like the kind of tangible, felt expression of lies that we believe? Another way to word that would be that sometimes our feelings can express subconscious beliefs. I think that feelings and kind of being aware of our feelings and growing in self-awareness, all that kind of stuff, we can use our feelings to show us what's going on in our souls, what's going on below the surface, ultimately to get free and to grow in freedom and into the abundant life that God has for us. That's not to say that feelings are always rooted in lies. I did part of my last video on how to reduce stress, and the solution were practical ways to reduce stress rather than delving deep into lies. Just as a little clarify, sometimes feelings are. That said, here's an example from my life, something that I'm still journeying through with the Lord, that I think it's been going on as far back as I remember, and the last few years I've been journeying through this. And it started with, I just would feel stressed and pressure, and I felt like I couldn't do anything wrong. Right, I couldn't make a mistake. Otherwise, I don't know, I just felt like I can't. And so I'd obviously taken this to the Lord in prayer and said, God, what's going on? I feel stressed, I feel like pressure, like I can't do anything wrong. This is not healthy, this is not you. So what's going on? What's going on below the surface, right? And the Lord showed me that actually I felt that if I did something wrong, if I made a mistake, people would get angry at me. People would be annoyed at me. People wouldn't like me. And that was easy for me to root in my different parts of my story, growing up, childhood, teenagehood. There was just some stuff where if I did make even the smallest mistakes, people would get angry at me. If I did little things that someone didn't like, people wouldn't like me anymore. I got bullied the whole way through secondary school. It's part of it. And so, yeah, you can probably imagine. And so I felt this pressure and this stress. I can't do anything wrong. I can't make a mistake otherwise. And I, kind of through prayer, the Lord showed me that otherwise people will get angry at me. People won't like me, and so on. Then the Lord and I, more recently actually, the Lord went a level deeper and said, you actually believe that it's appropriate to treat you that way. I actually believed it was fair for people to treat me that way. If I did make a mistake, yeah, they're well within their right to be angry at me. Almost like I was worthy of being mistreated. Because that's what I experienced, right? Pretty much throughout my formative years, that was what I experienced. And so that was the mindset that formed in me. And it was rooted in actually, I think it's fair to treat me this way. And I thought that anyone could get angry at me at any point. I don't know who, I just need to not make any mistakes. I need to not do anything wrong. That's so unhealthy, right? Have you ever noticed that just the second that light is shed on a lie, that light is shed on something that was hidden and in darkness, that just does something in and of itself. Just knowing, oh wait, this is what I actually think. The Lord said that. He said, you actually believe that it's kind of fair for people to treat you this way. And I was like, flip, yeah, well that's wrong, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not right. That's awful. Oh gosh, poor me, you know? And so, yeah, I can just, when I feel that, I will kind of just go through that process of thank you, Father, for the truth. I recognize these are the lies that I'm believing and replace them with truth. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily do anything. I still feel the feelings, but I'm actually renewing my mind and I'm renewing my internal. Feelings aren't the enemy. It's not about our feelings being renewed. It's about what's below them or what's causing them. As I say, sometimes feelings are rooted in lies. But I would understand the kind of main part of mind renewal is the kind of the journey from believing lies to believing truth. Lies about us, our worth, God, God's nature, to believing truth about us, our worth, God's nature, and who He is and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes people aren't used to going deeper, and sometimes people feel uncomfortable because they're not used to it. Sometimes people just need kind of healing and to encounter the love of God a few times over before they're at a place where they can be this vulnerable with themselves, with God, let alone with another. And that's fine. And we just want to create space for people to meet with God, right? And that is, I guess, the start of this journey into freedom, into being transformed by our minds being renewed, and kind of truth setting us free, and kind of working out, what do I really believe in my core? What do I really believe? Oh, I say God's good, but when something bad happens, then I'm like, oh, okay, there's probably something there. But we want to help people get free, and so hopefully this has been helpful in how we can use our feelings to kind of get free, basically, and to work out what's going on in us so that we can get free and just enter into the abundant life that God has for us. That's the heart of this. Is I want to see people free, and I imagine everyone wants to be free, and here is how. I don't think it's a particularly kind of rocket sciencey kind of process. It's just, what do I believe? Why do I believe that? What's the truth? Boom. I say boom. It's a journey, not a moment. It doesn't happen in a moment. It happens over a period of time. But it's good, and it's wholesome, and it's worth doing the work. So I pray this has blessed you, and I will see you next time.